Hi, Lindsay.
Yeah, well,
Elle Wheeler, nice to have you here today.
nice to be here. I'm always impressed with your family's composure, but I have to say that now having to kind of talk about a very emotional piece, I really do appreciate kind of how you guys all do this so well. So first and foremost, this is the piece that I have, and it was really inspired by Miles, and I've been thinking a lot about it over the last week because for me, I'm an abstract expressionist painter. So I really use art to transmute emotions. And a lot of times it's trying to transmute kind of heavy emotions. And the one thing I love about being an artist is that through transmuting some of those heavy emotions, you always do kind of have a beautiful piece of art. And so I love to hear that, Miles loved to use art to show his emotions in a positive way, because that's really what I do. um, when I first heard of Miles, I heard it from a neighbor. I had just moved to Walnut Creek and then the pandemic hit. And I was shocked just to hear, kind of as we've touched on, that such a tragedy happened in our beautiful community. Because I know I moved to Walnut Creek from Salt Lake City, Utah. Um, and after living in San Francisco for just 1 month, I just couldn't imagine kind of living in a city like that. And when I came to Walnut Creek kind of by chance, I was really taken aback and just felt at home here and at the community. So I was definitely shocked kind of by what had happened. But, the first thing that I heard from my neighbors was the story of Taun going to every single city council meeting and just really, speaking for justice for Miles and wanting to create change. And I really was just taken aback and inspired by that aspect. And then over the course of the next few months, I saw Miles everywhere. I saw his picture on yard signs, and it's almost like he became my first friendly face in Walnut Creek, because I would just see him all the time. And every time I saw his smile, I really was impressed by there is a lightness to him. There's a light around him. And I just couldn't forget about him. And I definitely, would talk to people about him, and I would hear that, I live, right around Civic Park, and I would hear that he would be around here and people knew him. And then, of course, I would see the milestones everywhere. And there was the Mental Health Awareness Month that came up, and then all of the protests, which I took the painting to, because the way that I do is I build auras around my art so that they really have a strong resonance and speak to something. And I think, it really takes my breath away to talk about the story. And I think what ultimately one of the final layers of the painting was to put it in this kind of, I don't know if it comes through as well on the screen, but it's kind of a teal color. And teal is really representative of both the heart chakra and the throat chakra. And I do feel that this piece has this triumphant energy of how unconditional love, the unconditional love of a sister, of a mother, and of a father can triumph over kind of the brutal tragedy that really is the story of his last days. And so, I continue to be inspired by Miles. I will never forget Miles. The process in, I'm going to cry, but just the process of creating this piece and considering Miles and considering the story and engaging with his energies, it really healed a deeply wounded part of myself. I have lost somebody too early through different circumstances, but there was a mental health component there. And I just feel really blessed to be here and to, be engaged with this community. And I'm just so inspired by Miles. And I hope that, this artwork and through the years to come, like I said, I'll never forget Miles. He's become a deeply instrumental person on my journey as an artist, as a human. I became a mother in 2021, which, definitely, puts a different spin on it. And so, I think art really does have the power for us to transmute those deeply, sorrowful, painful experiences and really turn it into compassion and unconditional love. And that's, I think really what this piece speaks to.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lindsay. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's amazing and gorgeous. Alexis has one of the prints in her room. So it's very special. And thank you again for thinking of Miles and also just bringing it to us. It's quite a powerful piece, as you said.